I was talking with one of my employees today who's quite a bit younger than me. He's early on in his career, and he was talking about basically doing what you want in life for work. And if I'm being honest, I used to think that that was totally unrealistic and to the point where it's not even something that a person should pursue. But over the last couple years, I've changed my mind on that. So let's talk about it. First off, how do you like my view? We grew sunflowers for the first time this year. So pretty. I'm really enjoying them. I'll probably get you more views of the sunflowers. Some of them are dark and moody, and some of them are bright and cheery, and I'm just really enjoying them. In front of me here are zinnias. This is a little baby zinnia, and I think they're going to flower more and more as we get into the rest of summer here. But I was talking with one of my employees, and actually I am opening up more and more conversation around the fact that it's time for me to move into my next phase of life. And it's funny, even at the start of this year, I actually think I felt more shame around that, if I'm being totally honest. Looking back, I don't really know why, but now I'm actually seeing, as I talk to more and more people about this, as I talk to you right now on this video, it's actually building my confidence that I can do this. I can make this shift. And honestly, I think every conversation that I'm having is building that belief, building my faith, building my hope, building my love even more. I'm getting my hair done next Friday, and I think I might talk to my hairstylist about this. I might even tell her I have a YouTube channel. Who knows? We'll see. But I was talking with my employee today and talking about how I may want to do some kind of life coaching in the next phase of my career, something like that. We are in corporate finance right now, so it's quite a bit different. Although as a manager, I can use those skills that I'm naturally good at to coach and mentor. And he had the kindest response. I actually wrote it down. He said, "We second guess ourselves too much in life. You just need to go for it." And he said, "You don't want to be the 60-year-old that is not happy and that's been at the same company all their lives." Now, for anyone older watching this, I hope you don't take any kind of offense to that statement. He's early off in his career. And like I'm going to get into here, I definitely think that I heard so many people say that over the years, kind of like him, and he said it with this kind of hope and optimism. And I would think my response was always in the past, up until like last year, if I'm being honest, like, well, that's easy for you to say, maybe your life circumstances were different. And that's cool that you can do that and think that, but I didn't have that opportunity to do that financially and otherwise. And I want to say that in some ways that's valid. And in some ways, me thinking that way did get me to a point where I could change my mind. I really locked in and sort of made a way to make a living for myself, pay off my debts, things like that. So I think that's valid, and I also totally understand that for a lot of people have made peace with their 9-to-5, and I don't think there's a single thing wrong with that. But thinking in terms for myself and where I'm at, I actually do think I want to take a risk and just go for whatever is next for me. And he also said, if you like what you do, you're going to be good at it. He said that I would be really good at talking to people and emotional connections. And I agree, because I have noticed that even though at work my job is actually to talk about the numbers, metrics, performance, positive or negative business case, things like that, day in and day out, accounting policy, that's my focus. And yet, when I became a manager, I found that I enjoyed that so much more, because I was coaching people on all the accounting and on all the numbers. And my time was a little bit more freed up to be the manager and the coach and the mentor. And, you know, I thought that would be enough for me, because I was enjoying the freedom of that and the ability to step into a little more of my natural skill set. I enjoyed that so much in the first few years, to the point that I thought that would be enough. But I'm realizing, as I've gotten a taste for more freedom and a taste for stepping into my natural giftings and who God wired me to be, that I actually just want to continue following that path in life. And like I've said in my other videos, the other part of that is I've had chronic illness issues rise up so much, to the point where I actually need to make a pivot away. Otherwise, I very well may have just continued on in that pathway. And that would be fine too. But yeah, I found that as a manager, I really enjoy talking people through the emotional aspect of work, talking and mentoring people through the challenges of working with others, prioritizing their workload, and how do they feel about the challenges that they're facing in work? How can they grow and develop more personally and professionally? Mostly professionally. That's been really rewarding. And some employees want to talk about that for a long time and others don't. Of course, that totally makes sense, because I'm doing all this within the scope of the job I have currently. Whatever I move into next, I think I'll be able to mold that a little bit more, a little bit differently, I guess. I don't know what that would look like yet. I think I hear, oh, there is a huge hot air balloon over there. Wow. It seems really close. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the video or not. That's crazy. I might have to get a shot of that if I can. But I also want to talk about a few other things that we talked about on our call, because he said he learned a few life lessons from this week. It was a very challenging last week or so for him. He said you can't always plan everything ahead. And on that note, because he did try his best to plan things, that work is not always in our control, and that we deal with things as we come. Oh, it's a Kiwanis balloon, I see. I also, as I talked with him, just realized how far I've come with developing my own confidence, because he is at a spot where I'm actually helping him develop his confidence. And basically anyone that reports to me, I end up seeing traits in them that remind me of a younger me. And so I'll relate to them on that, and I'll say, yeah, I used to be like you this way. Here's how I navigated that challenge. And so it has been very rewarding to me in that way. And like I said, I'm going to keep pursuing that. I think partially I'm doing that now through this YouTube channel, and we'll just see what the future has in store for me. You know, it's conversations like today, and I actually spent an hour talking with him about these things. But it's conversations like today that really make me question leaving. And yet, I know it is time to move on to the next thing, even though I don't know what that looks like yet. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna end it here, and I think I am gonna show you this hot air balloon. It is quite amazing. So I will see you in the next video.